It's deranged, royal fae. They'll act crazy all day. They'll apologize for the fail, but still scream and wail. It's deranged, royal fae. Yeah!
My Cult of the Lamb cosplay is finally complete. I spray painted the 3D paintings, 3D printings, and I got custom made ears. I even have a tail, but I don't have a current way to attach it without a safety pin, and it wasn't really necessary. And I decided that if I do any more I also decided that if that gets too crazy, I'm going to take off the choker because I don't want to keep having to silence this bell throughout the entire video. But I decided if I make any more Deranged Royal Fae videos during October, which I know this is the first one I've done all month, and where, like, it's the 25th? 26th? I don't remember. But if I do any, I figured I might as well wear my Halloween costume, because I'm not going to really get a chance to wear it out. I don't even know when I'm actually going to wear the full thing. I'm going to do makeup for it when I do the full thing. I'm wearing this costume because why not? I'm not going to get a chance to wear it out anyways, and I'll probably wear the makeup on screen one of these days, but today's not that day, since I've got work tonight in the morning. When you work overnight, it's all really relative. But yeah, it's even part of the reason why I did this silvery color in my hair. It's also why I'm not doing the theme colors of what today's video is about, as you probably can tell from the title. That's what it's called. Because last time I did something about, certain sexuality, I did a color scheme based off it, like asexuality. That is one of the reasons. The other reason is green screen. Green is a very important color in this flag. And part of me will disappear like my hair sometimes did. So, it works out. Two birds, one stone. Alright, so without further ado, what I've come to talk about is... I never said hi, so hi, first of all. But what I've come here to talk about is kind of officially, formally coming out as aromantic, or at least demi-romantic. I more or less have kind of officially formally come out as demisexual. I never went straight to like, this is my coming out video, but I came out more or less in my video about asexuality. Now this won't be like that video where I want to educate and talk about misunderstandings and things like that. It's not that I don't think aromantic people don't deserve that or anything. I just feel like that's not the point I'm going for with this video. I feel like I've not been in the community long enough to talk about that kind of stuff or have those kind of experiences long enough. I mean, I might talk about misconceptions I had to make me not realize for so long. And then, yeah, no, it's just, kind of things like that. But yes, I identify on the aromantic spectrum the same as I do on the asexual spectrum. So I'm demi-romantic, demisexual, and demigod. Sorry, I thought it was a good joke. I'm Greek. I'm allowed to make that joke. Now, specifically, I'm grabbing demi-romantic and demisexual for myself. And it was really until this year that I realized I was on the aromantic spectrum as well. When you have so many partners and you just love, and you're like, I have love to give, I'm a hopeless romantic. It makes it really hard to realize that you're technically a romantic. And then you start kind of blurring the lines between romance and friendship, and especially if you're in polyamory. It was kind of this tough journey to really piece together. It wasn't like asexuality where I slowly but surely was figuring out, because I feel like with asexuality there was a lot of physical things to it. It wasn't just a mental thing. Definitely the mental things are what cemented it for me, but the physical stuff helped me kind of figure it out faster. And just like with asexuality, Cappy is one of my main reasons for realizing the aromantic part of myself. I basically kind of found out or realized and put together I was aromantic within probably a few days, if even. I just kind of kept putting together these same thoughts and feelings, And it just kind of started to make sense to me, like, oh my god, wait, am I romantic? Am I Demi romantic? And I think I've probably talked about in video. I don't know if I ever said those words in the video, but I do think I talked about how I don't think I will ever love someone or want a relationship with someone should my relationship with Cappy end. I'm willing to give polyamory a try. I'm willing to believe, maybe I'm wrong, but should I be single ever again, I think I will stay single for the rest of my life. I will live a full-on aromantic and asexual lifestyle. And I don't think there's any shame or anything wrong with that. I'm cool with having some really close friends, having people who are practically family to me, even though they're not biologically related. Like most of the people I've been talking about being potential roommates, I have no romantic interest in, and are like family to me, more so than my own sisters. But I think I can do without the love, like the romantic love. I'm good at Plato's, my platonic love. I can't remember all of them on top of my head. I didn't do any research for this. That's another thing. I didn't do any research, so I'm not going to talk about romantic research because I don't have any. But yeah, I don't feel like I need a romantic love in my life unless it is Cappy's. I've never felt the way I have with him, with anyone, that I never felt like I absolutely need or want, you know, both sexually and romantically. It's just the one thing that just works, clicks, feels right, feels like true love. And you could be like, oh, that's everyone, you know, you find that special someone. Bullshit. I'm sorry. Most allo-romantic and allosexual people truly aren't 100%, you know, monogamous Demi. It doesn't really work that way. If someone were to ever fall in love, get married, and then become a widow or widower, there's so many love stories out there, like both real world and fictional, where they end up falling in love again. And for the most part, unless you're like way back in the past where people like shame, at least on the woman, like shame, we romanticize those stories. We think they're sweet. We think they're good. Showing that we do believe there is potentially more than one love out there for everyone, you know? That a lot of people who've had romantic relationships, yeah, they might have one that felt better than others, but they still truly loved and cared about all their past partners. In most cases. If they were abusive asshole, then obviously not. If they were young, impulsive teens, then, you know, probably not true love. Unless it was. I'm not saying you can't truly fall in love when you're a teen or anything like that. Personally, at least when it comes to sexual stuff, I don't feel like anyone under 18 should have a sex life, per se. I'm not going to judge anyone or shame anyone if they do. I just don't think it's worth, the risks aren't worth the risks aren't worth it, and just the emotional stress and emotional maturity and all that jazz, physical maturity that you need. I don't think most people under that age are ready for it. And then the physical repercussions that could happen, like pregnancies or STDs, when you're still when you're being forced to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life, and you're in school and you might have to potentially drop out or completely derail your education and do night classes or be held back, all because you had some fun hanky-panky, I don't think it's all worth it. I am 100% sex positive. I am a little bit sex repulsed, but I'm also like super much into supporting body positivity. I'm into that too. Sex positivity and sex education and all that jazz. But I do feel like through those things is also how we prevent sexual assaults, teen pregnancies, STDs, etc., unexpected pregnancies. By giving that education, it gives people more awareness on how to avoid those problems and to maybe think about it more. It's kind of a similar argument with trans stuff, where it's like if you teach more about trying out new things. Not like medical permanent things, but just being like trying to experiment with a new name or new style or pronouns, etc. Or even giving your time to think about it. And you're really like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am what I am. Or, I don't think I am what people have been telling me I am all this time. Either way. I feel like a lot of cis people would not truly be confused about their gender identity if we were more open about teaching about it and how debilitating it can be for some people and how serious and etc, all the details. That being said, out of all my current LGBT identities, I do feel like aromantic, asexual, or Demi are at the top of my list. Like, if anyone were to ask me to choose something to identify with, or if I wanted to wear pride pins or pride gear for whatever, I probably am going to be sticking with the Demi and or A stuff. I even have them now on my work vest. It's the ace of cake. So if you don't know, there's an asexual joke about like, I'd rather be eating cake than having sex. There's even a cake called better than sex. If you could focus on the pin instead, thank you. But since you're ace, like an ace card, this works especially well for me because I do archery and arrow. It's got the arrow flag on it. There you go. And I actually really like the colors of the aromantic and asexual flags, so you know what? Works for me. There's no pink! Oh my god! There's no super bright color. I mean, I guess you could consider the purple and green bright, but I like purple and green. So hey, it works out that the flags I would want to use are the ones that I actually like the color schemes of. I've went and ordered myself some like stickers too. I've also ordered myself some bubble t-shirts for Borderline. Just that kind of piecing together about how I can't go through romantic things anymore, that I've realized the difference between friendship and romance, and that desire of wanting that companionship or whatever with someone. And it wasn't just technically through Cappy, but also for me trying to do online dating and meeting up with some of the people. I think I mentioned in previous videos about how one kind of just ghosted me. Last night, she actually like messaged me for the first time since April? We're cool, we're chill. She was saying that, RSD problems and blah blah blah. And, just as friends, whatever, sure, you can still, like I said, you can stay on my server. If you want to, like, game with us still, I don't mind. I get it. Life's a bitch. So am I. No, I'm not great about keeping in contact with people, and even people I'm really close with. Sometimes I just don't message people for months, maybe even a year, and I'll be like, hey, can I ask you something? I'm bad. It's not okay, but I do it. Whoops. But yeah, so, but through that and just kind of realizing what I wanted and why I might have wanted something, I realized, yeah, I'm a romantic. Love and relationships, yeah, they're hard in general, in a sense, but I don't know. It just feels like I'm a hopeless romantic is one of my issues, where I want that kind of relationship, but realizing that I've never truly had it, even when I thought I could have, and realizing a lot of little cogwheels turning in my brain. I'm a people pleaser and a hopeless romantic, and it made it hard when you have those two things to realize that you're on the ace and arrow spectrum. Because you're like, that difference between willing to do and genuinely wanting to do. Wanting to do because you care about someone versus wanting to fully what you want, or wanting to because you think that's how things should be, and then wanting to because it's like, yeah, definitely, yes, 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 yes. or wanting to because you like the idea of it versus wanting to because it's genuinely what you feel. Basically, on one hand, we have wanting to because that's what someone wants of you and you want to help please them. Wanting to because you think that's how things should be, and wanting to because you like the idea of, versus wanting to because it's genuinely, truly, fully what you want, kind of thing. So those two things don't exist together over here, but they're basically find the difference between these guys and this guy, and realizing, oh, this guy or that guy does not mean this guy. I don't think I need to make this video that much longer. It's a coming out video, so it doesn't need to be long. It could just be like, hi, I'm Aromantic, and leave it there. But I felt like it was kind of necessary, in a sense, to talk about my journey a little bit. I know I didn't talk actually much details about my journey, but, you know, I just kind of spoke cryptically, like cogwheels turning in my brain, and putting things together, and not really putting together what those things were, or not talking about what those things I put together were, per se. But, well, no, I kind of did, you know, friendship and romance. It's a very blurry line, especially with polyamory in the mix. And then especially since I'm a big believer in found family, and I consider partners family. I wonder if there's any other aromantics out there amongst you, or demi-romantics, asexuals and demisexuals too. This is a safe space for all identities. Honestly, as I mentioned earlier about like, oh, labels, I'm keeping below really the trans, non-binary, any sexuality, because those two aren't sexualities or gender identities. Labels, they're not really as important to me. Like, yeah, obviously I had a very important journey through them, but at my point in my life, I don't hold as much relation to them anymore, / don't feel like I need them at the forefront, or, you know, things like that. It's not important to me right now. It's complicated. It's like it is, but it isn't. It's really complicated to explain. But fuck it, I'm embracing the Demi stuff more. And those are things that I am, here we go. Those are things I am sure about. The other things, I don't know anymore. There's a lot of uncertainty and grayness. So yeah, I'm Aro Ace. I am demisexual, demi-romantic, and a demigod. I run a cult, the Ace and Arrows. But we still have marriage ritual. Don't judge for that. You know, sometimes you gotta have a beard. Sometimes you gotta have X, Y, or Z benefits. So, yeah, we still allow marriage ritual in this cult. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you will have a gay day. Stay creepy, my spooks.
Well, they're glad that you stayed, yet you wasted yet another day. Their videos are a bore, but they've got lots more in store. It's deranged Royal Fae. Yeah.